Welcome to The Holistic Entrepreneur with holistic nurse practitioner, success coach, and best-selling author, Bonnie Groessl. Bonnie and her expert guests share tips, tools, and strategies to achieve success on your holistic entrepreneur journey. Each show features answers to common entrepreneur challenges, along with a healthy dose of support and motivation. Now, please welcome the host of The Holistic Entrepreneur, Bonnie Groessl.
Well, welcome everyone. This is your host, Bonnie Groessl, here at The Holistic Entrepreneur. You know, as long as COVID-19 is still affecting the world, my goal is to provide tips and ideas to help you during this time and to help you prepare for this new normal as well. So thank you for all taking the time to be here. I am so honored that you do that. You know, whether you're listening to this episode when it's first aired or if you're listening 2 years from now, it doesn't really matter. Because you're here and sharing this time with me. And I am so honored. I know that time is our most precious asset. So I want to make sure that these shows are value-packed so that you feel your time was well spent. Now make sure you check out the show page and the special gifts that I have for you at my new website, or relatively new, bonnielinks.com. Just bonnielinks.com. It's a website dedicated to provide gifts and special offers to help you through this time. And I'm going to keep it going for the foreseeable future. But during this time, I've got some special gifts on there that really help you deal with a number of things, whether it's just feeling better, dealing with the stress, or, you know, your business. So check out bonnielinks.com. Now, I've always put new links on there pretty much every week during this time. And the last group angel reading from a couple weeks ago is on there as well. And of course, you can always connect with me at bonniegroessl.com, which is where I archive all the podcasts and information about M&B Global Solutions, our products, our services, stuff like that. Now, I always want to take time before we begin today to remind us all that the information presented here is educational, inspirational, and I hope motivational in nature. But I always want you to just take what fits for you and simply let go of the rest. This show does not intend or imply to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment either. I always want to preface every show with that little reminder for all of us. And I want to send a shout out and blessings to all the healthcare workers and the essential service providers that have been there for us during this time, providing for our basic needs. You know, we've all had to adapt in some way, this new way of being. And here in the U.S., individual states are in various stages of opening and loosening restrictions, and it's really sort of all over the place. So while the world is slowly opening again, I want you to remember that COVID-19 has not gone away, and we still need to practice the suggested guidelines to keep us all safe. You know, I was recently at the grocery store, and it was so reassuring for me to see that so many people are voluntarily following the guidelines, because in our particular state, in Wisconsin, they've sort of gotten rid of them all. So I am so glad that people care enough about one another to, you know, follow those guidelines. You know, in places where they're no longer mandated, people are still doing that. And that goes back to the concept of us all helping one another. You know, we're all in this together and we're all one. Now, I know that there are people who might still be sick, who are struggling with, you know, just to be able to put food on the table because they're still out of a job, because not all the states or countries have opened up completely, certainly. And there's so many negative effects from this type of stress. I want you all to know that I'm sending you my prayers and good energy that things improve for you soon. You know, last week we talked about distraction and how you can use this tool to both feel better and to move your business forward. So if you missed that show, you might want to go back and listen to it. And of course, all the archives are on the bonniegroessl.com website as well. So today, I want to talk about taking action. You know, maybe you don't know the action to take right now, you know, or maybe you don't know what to do first. You're probably busy just trying to take care of yourself and your family, and you have bills to pay, and it's just a crazy time. You know, as a holistic entrepreneur, you're most likely going to have to make some changes to adapt to the new normal, wherever you are in the world. the future won't exactly be the same as it was in the past. And this happens really anytime something major happens in our lives, whatever it is. It could be a wedding, a birth of a child, losing someone, changing your career, or a pandemic that shuts down the entire world for a while. Whatever it is, it always creates that new normal. We can't just go back to the way things were before. And I don't know what that's going to look like, but I can pretty much assure you that it's going to be different in some ways. So what actions are you taking to prepare for this new world? Chances are that travel and large group events will look different, at least for a while, until we get things ironed out and more, safety things in place. And how we communicate is already changing. I mean, my goodness, with so many people working from home for maybe the first time, using web conferencing and Zoom meetings, and people are staying connected by, creating and sharing videos on group Zoom and Facebook chats. I mean, there's so many ways to keep us all connected. People are having virtual weddings and graduations and birthday parties. So that part is really already shifting. Now, perhaps you see patients in the office, like many dentists, doctors, and so many other holistic practitioners. But this might have to change to some degree. So there are some things that, don't really require an in-person visit. I mean, think about it. Think of all the paperwork, the things to sign, which can be done electronically, history taking, teaching, counseling, even, showing test results or x-rays. When you think about it, there's a lot that could be done virtually, at least in part. Now, obviously, there are things that still need to be done in person, like a physical exam, and of course, any procedure of any type. But the things that you have to actually touch a patient for aren't all that numerous, really, when you think about it. Sometimes we need to use our other senses, like smell and hearing. Listening to heart sounds is a good example, or there's the smell of certain things if you're used to working in a clinical setting. But for the most part, these things are still done in person. But you know what? That might be changing too. As we adapt, who knows what's going to be created or invented so that we can hearing somebody and seeing them on a computer screen. I mean, who knows? So yes, we do need to connect with our patients. There's something to be said for the personal connection in that same physical space, like holding a patient's hand, a hug, showing empathy, compassion, that caring that so many of us do. And with the technology today, there are so many ways to accomplish so many other things in that virtual world. I mean, think about it. If some of the paperwork and history taking could be done virtually, it saves you time in the office so that you can make the most of those one-on-one interactions and do the hand holding and the hug and the caring part of what we all do. In many offices, I know when I worked in one, this was kind of a thing of the past, holding somebody's hand or sitting with them, just holding the space, giving them a hug. There just wasn't time for that because you were busy to go on to the next thing. Or perhaps the regulatory body that governs what you can do doesn't even allow you to touch patients. So where does this bring us? If you have a physical practice in an office now, I encourage you to think outside the box. Are there things that can be done virtually? Now, I know sometimes this depends on your patients and if they have access to the technology or can even do some of those things. But maybe there's some ways around this. I mean, maybe there's some things that can be done, not in that one-to-one space, allowing you more time to do what you probably really went into your practice for, right? To care for people. Many coaches and consultants already do a lot of these things virtually. And what many of them have found, I know I have found this, is it opens up your market to the number of people that you can help. You're not just tied to that geographic location. It expands your ability to help more people. So if you're a business coach or consultant of some time, or you help people with their business in some way, think about how you can help others adapt. Put yourself in their shoes. You were probably there once too. I know I was. What can you teach them, or what service can you provide to help them transition into this new normal? Now, if you'd like to discuss any of this and or even just get some ideas on how you can share your knowledge, I'm more than happy to set up some time and just chat with you. No strings attached. I just want to share my thoughts with you. You can just go to bonnielinks.com and sign up for a free chat. I just want to share my ideas. It's my way of paying it forward because I've been in that place. I was in that place where I had a physical office and saw patients, both working for a large multi-specialty clinic and then in my own practice, and then having to go virtual. And that was for a different reason. I mean, it was because of the accident that we had in 2009, but it still required me to do a pivot. I still had to be innovative and think outside the box. So in that way, I would love to pay it forward. If you're in a practice now, if you help other people who are in a practice, or whatever the situation is, I'm more than happy to spend some time with you because I think it's my responsibility maybe to just share what I have. And that might be how you're feeling too, to share what you have, what you've learned along the way, the mistakes you've made, to help other people not make those same mistakes, whatever the case may be. Now, I hope I've provided some motivation for you and given you some ideas to think about as we all together prepare for the new normal. Above all, I want you to know that we will get through this. And I want to share with you a quote from Jimmy Dean. And the quote is, "I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination." So whatever situation you find yourself in, if you're a provider, if you're a coach, a consultant, whatever, or if you're a stay-at-home mom, I mean, it really doesn't matter. Everybody, whether they get a paycheck or go to work or have a job, everybody has a job. Everybody works. There isn't anybody, I don't think, in this whole planet that doesn't work. So I hope I've given you some things to think about. And until next time, I want you to believe that anything is possible as long as you believe in yourself. Well, thank you for joining me here at the Holistic Entrepreneur Show today. If you would like to learn how you can be a sought-after guest on popular podcasts, how to produce your own show, or even how to use content marketing to grow your business, go to bonnielinks.com and check out the offers that I have for you there. bonnielinks.com, BonnieLinks.com, is also where you can sign up for my monthly newsletter, the Holistic Entrepreneur Update. It comes straight to your email with an update from me and all of the links to the last month's shows, just in case you missed anything. Now, this newsletter also gives you access to the show's guest gift page, where you can access all the great gifts from my guests over the years. And don't forget to subscribe to The Holistic Entrepreneur on your favorite podcast directory so that you'll automatically receive the newest episode when it's released. The Holistic Entrepreneur is brought to you by M&B Global Solutions.